So our next speaker is Fawn Liebengood. Fawn's passion is to protect the ocean and marine life from marine debris while enriching the lives of our active duty service members and military veterans through marine debris cleanups. Fawn's goal is to understand marine debris from a comprehensive perspective in order to drive behavioral change and empower communities and make a difference in the fight on marine plastic pollution. Fawn wants to serve her community as a strategic thinker, entrepreneur, and catalyst for innovation and creativity in the marine debris field. The title of her presentation is Fighting Beneath the Surface, exploring how marine debris cleanups can be therapeutic recreation for active duty military personnel and military veterans.
Puzzles are interesting. Sitting down and completing a 5,000-piece puzzle can either be incredibly satisfying or incredibly frustrating if you can't find a puzzle piece or see where a piece goes. These days, it seems like most of us have a half-completed puzzle lying around somewhere. I like puzzles, but sometimes I get stuck. Sometimes I can't figure out how all of the puzzle pieces fit together. I got stuck on a puzzle once for a long time. I was stuck for weeks, months, years even. Let me tell you about it. I have 3 passions in life: helping our military, removing and preventing marine debris, and protecting marine life. For the longest time, I couldn't figure out how all 3 of these puzzle pieces fit together. It wasn't until someone with an outside perspective came along that I could see how to complete my puzzle. I spent the past few months writing a nonprofit business plan fitting these puzzle pieces together, but I'll tell you more about that later. This is a blue whale. It's the largest animal on Earth. Blue whales can be as long as an airplane and weigh as much as 300,000 pounds. Plastic is polluting our oceans on a massive scale. Since the 1940s, when plastic production began, we think there is about 300 million tons of plastic in our ocean. That is equivalent to about 2 million blue whales. That is 2 million of these plastic blue whales in our ocean today. But plastic pollution is not just restricted to our oceans. Plastic has been found in the Arctic snow, in the air we breathe, and inside our bodies. As plastic breaks apart, it releases methane and other greenhouse gases which accelerate climate change. And marine plastic pollution is expected to cost our economies up to $216 billion if we decide to continue business as usual over the next 30 years. What do you think the most common mental health issue facing our military is? Depression, anxiety, post-traumatic stress disorder, or substance abuse issues? While you may hear about PTSD most often, depression is actually more commonly diagnosed than PTSD. Among both civilians and our military, it's actually common to have more than one mental health disorder. According to the VA, 17 veterans commit suicide every day, and veterans' suicide rate is nearly twice as high as civilians. While there are treatments available, many service members and veterans do not seek them out. Of those who do seek out treatment, they may not receive evidence-based treatments, wish to receive them, or benefit from these treatments. One of the hardest things I have ever had to do was watch someone I love deploy to Iraq. My greatest fear wasn't that they wouldn't come home, but that they would come home a completely different person, which is exactly what happened. At the time, we didn't realize that they needed help, and because we didn't realize that they needed help, they never sought treatment. So we have this problem with plastic, and our military's mental health is worsening. Wouldn't it be great if we could use the marine debris problem to help alleviate our military's mental health issues? Well, we can, through Blue Mind. Dr. Wallace J. Nichols coined the term Blue Mind as the meditative, relaxed state that we enter when we are in, on, near, or underwater. And research agrees that Blue Mind is both psychologically and physiologically beneficial. People living near coastal environments are less stressed, exercise more frequently, and have better social interactions than people living inland. We have all spent a lot of time indoors these past few months. Don't you look forward to going out on a walk now as much as your dog does? Don't you feel happier, less stressed, and more connected to nature while you're outside? When you come back home, isn't it easier to focus on whatever task you were doing before you left? Well, research shows how spending time outside in nature is good for you. People report feeling the happiest and most psychologically restored in marine and coastal environments, feeling the most restored if participants view the ocean as healthy or very healthy. Green exercise refers to physical activity in the presence of nature. For example, going for a run on the beach is an example of green exercise. Blue gym refers to using coastal environments to improve human health while encouraging people to participate in conservation efforts, promote environmental awareness, and engage in good stewardship practices. So how do they affect mental health? Well, research shows that self-esteem, energy levels, and mood all improve after green exercise, with the greatest improvements shown exercising near water. And green exercise also decreases tension, confusion, anger, and depression, all compared to indoor exercise. Volunteering is a selfless act of service and can have psychological and physiological benefits for those who volunteer. Volunteering can actually delay or reverse declining brain functioning, and volunteers that consistently and frequently volunteer can live up to 4 years longer than their non-volunteering peers. Volunteering can also promote community engagement, social interaction, and a sense of purpose, all while reducing depression and stress. Upon returning from deployment or discharging from the military personnel and veterans can struggle adjusting to civilian life. Community reintegration refers to the journey to rejoin society after military service. One of my friends shared what it was like returning from Afghanistan at age 21. She shared that after constantly being in a group of people and sharing the same moments together, you can feel quite lonely when you come home, not just physically, but psychologically. I had a feeling of isolation where I thought that no one else could be in the same mindset that I was, which led to even more isolation and, in turn, depression. But Blue Mind can help improve our military's mental health. Activities like scuba diving, surfing, sailing, and fly fishing have all been used to help service members and veterans, in addition to traditional therapy. A small pilot study found that a scuba diving trip for wounded military veterans reduced their PTSD symptoms by 80%. And surf therapy has been shown to significantly improve positive affect while decreasing depression, anxiety, and PTSD for active duty service members. After a year-long sailing rehabilitation, military veterans' PTSD, depression, and quality of life improved. And after a fly fishing retreat, military veterans' perceptual stress, PTSD symptoms both decreased. A few months after this retreat, their self-assuredness, serenity, positive affect, and cheerfulness were all still elevated. So I had these three puzzle pieces, these three passions, and I knew that Blue Mind was going to help me complete my puzzle, but it wasn't until I was presenting my poster at the 6th International Marine Debris Conference that I finally saw how these puzzle pieces fit together. I was chatting with a beach cleanup coordinator from Florida, and she was telling me how she was working with homeless volunteers to help clean up Florida's parks. As she was speaking, the light bulb went off. I would create a nonprofit organization that offers community-based marine debris cleanups for our military. And by removing and preventing marine debris, I could help save marine life. I could finally see how my puzzle pieces fit together. So I am founding Blue Ocean Warriors, which will be the first military-centered environmental nonprofit organization. Its mission will be to enrich our military's lives through community-based marine debris cleanups while empowering them in the fight to eradicate marine plastic pollution. Blue Ocean Warriors will have two programs, Marine Debris Missions and Operation GhostNet. A marine debris mission will be a group cleanup event removing marine debris from beaches and reefs, whereas Operation Ghost Net will consist of a team patrolling coastlines for derelict fishing gear. Blue Ocean Warriors will be funded through a combination of supply sponsorships, private donations, corporate donations, grants, fundraising events, and social enterprise business. We intend to diversify our revenue stream through social enterprise, which is a revenue-generating business that fits within the nonprofit's mission. Girl Scout cookies are a perfect example of a social enterprise business. Blue Ocean Warriors intends to take the lead fishing weights that we find during cleanups, work with a partner to safely smelt them down, and turn them into lead diving weights for free divers and scuba divers to use. The money that we raise is going to be used for cleanup supplies, not sponsored by our sponsors, and liability insurance, transportation expenses, and overhead. After spending the spring quarter writing Blue Ocean Warriors' business plan, my next steps are to find my initial board members, file my 501c3 status with the IRS, and secure seed funding. Marine debris is polluting our oceans, and mental health concerns among military personnel is worsening, leading to increased suicide and destructive behaviors. But through Blue Mind, both problems can be alleviated. Therefore, we need Blue Ocean Warriors to provide community-based marine debris cleanups to help reduce our military's mental health issues. So I will leave you with this, my favorite quote by Isaac Dennison. The cure for anything is salt water, sweat, tears, or the sea. Thank you to my amazing Capstone committee for helping me on this journey and writing this business plan, and for all of the advisors who helped me along the way, the Mass NBC staff, and lastly, I could not have completed this project without the support of my amazing, resilient cohort, my loving family, and my amazing boyfriend. Thank you.
Thank you, Fawn. So you touched on this a little bit, but what are you going to do with the plastic marine debris that you collect?
Sure. There is a technology called BuyBlocks, and what it does is it takes plastic that you can find from cleanups or plastic that's hard to recycle and transform it into a construction-style block. Think like a huge Lego, and it's been used as a prototype so far to make public structures, benches, different things like that. So we plan to work with organizations like that to transform the marine debris into something useful.
Great. And where is Blue Ocean Warriors going to be based?
It's going to be based in Hawaii, but we see potential to expand it.
And then we have one more question. What got you into this work in the first place, Fawn? Why are you so passionate about helping our military?
That's a question that many people ask me if anyone in my family served in the military. My grandfather actually served as a baker in the Navy, but he passed away when I was very young. And throughout my life, I've had the honor of meeting a lot of people who chose to serve in our military. I also had the privilege and honor of serving at the Single Marine and Sailor program at Marine Corps Base Hawaii for 2 years. So through them and the different people that I've had the opportunity to meet in my life, it's really reinforced my belief that our military are some of the sweetest, kindest, most selfless people I've ever met.
Great. And actually, we fast and furiously have a few questions coming in from folks on the web. Okay. Is there any data that shows how well this program would work in various parts of the service? So, for example, the Army versus the Navy versus the Coast Guard. Have you looked into that at all? And especially considering that one of the largest Navy bases in the country is in San Diego, have you reached out to folks specifically organized or affiliated with local military groups to see what they think of the idea?
Yes, I have done some networking So Steve Rubin, he was on my Capstone committee from the Waves project here. So they do therapeutic scuba diving for wounded veterans. I've also networked with Force Blue, an organization based out of Florida. So I definitely have done some networking, but I would love to connect with anybody else willing to connect with me.